do a lot of, I don't know what you would call it, ghost drawing, like where you kind of draw into the air just over your painting. It just kind of gives you a bit of a practice run um, for your stroke without actually having to commit to it. It just gets your hand kind of, your muscle memory already used to what you haven't even put down without even having to commit to a stroke. If that makes sense at all. Yeah, I'm getting really into painting again, so that's why I'm focused on the wrong area. But yeah, as you can see, this part of the paint of the session here is actually where I think it really starts to come together, because adding that dark to that branch or to the tree trunk there really helps to set it in space. You can, with that dark part that I just added, it really contrasts itself against the light area of the background. It really sets it apart from it. You can really tell it's on a different plane in space than what was behind it. And without that, before it was kind of in this middle area, this ambiguous area. But adding those darks, you can tell, okay, that tree is in front of that tree, which is in front of the stuff in the background. I'm trying to paint the rushing water here. I don't think I was very successful, at least on this part of the painting. I'm painting a bunch of branches that were on the floor there. I could have been a lot more careful here, actually. I probably should have switched to a smaller brush. Right here, I'm trying to be too careful not to press down too hard, because because of the brush size, it's a little too big for what I'm trying to paint there. It kind of screwed me up a little bit, but it's not the end of the world. Coming in and establishing the lights on some of these trees. Just painting some more foliage in there. And here I'm painting some more rocks. very impressionistically painting them. No reason to be 100% accurate. It's just gonna slow you down, and there's no real reason for it. As long as you get the impression of what's going on, that's fine. I mostly put those in there just to, because I didn't really like the color temperature of what was behind it. I thought it was a little too green. It wasn't yellow enough. But adding adding that foliage in there kind of covers that mistake up. So that's a nice thing about gouache. You can do those kinds of things. Nobody has to know. Has a good sense. It adds a good sense of depth there too. You can really tell those are in the foreground. I'm using hot press paper, which isn't the greatest for dry brushing techniques. It's really good for like those puddling kind of techniques if you want to really exploit the way that the paper reacts to beads of color or beads of water with color in them. But for actual like brush effects and things like that, you're probably better off with cold press paper. But then again, you could do either. Hot press is really good for drawing as well. If you need like really accurate things, or you're drawing a lot of straight lines, things like that, you don't have the paper to contend with. Adding in some more of that moss. And the lightest lights of that branch.